show us here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Kneecap Body by Jeremy Smith.
Good evening and welcome to Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. And I know this goes live into my Facebook page as well because I set it up that way. By the way, it is not a good idea to go on the creator of a page's post in his Facebook page and call him a fucking idiot. When, number one, cussing is not allowed. Number two, you're not supposed to degrade somebody over their opinion. And number three, you're out.
Yeah. Number one, it's my goddamn group. My being yours.
Three
Like I
strikes.
said,
You're
good to be Caesar.
I thought number one is fuck your feelings.
Yeah. Well, I tried to make it a safe place for people to air their opinions, whether anybody agrees with it or not. I do not want the Motor City Kneecap Biters to be a trash talk group or a trash or any of that. And I've allowed other teams, people to post their shit in there. Why? Because it's a safe space where you can have your opinion and not be berated. It's one of the reasons why I've grown steadily the way I have with that group. I've actually handpicked everybody. I go through and look at their posts and make sure they're not that person.
Make sure they're not Paul Merkel.
That's John Dorn Jr.
Or that other dude with the 3 different profiles and he just posts and ghosts. Big Cheese Smalls.
Well, right now, this is the NFL Roundtable Talks. I'm waiting for a couple of the other guys to come in. I did send out the invite via email to Snowman Multimedia. So, Brian Snow, if you're out there, go check your email, buddy. And Dan Leonard got it by email, I believe, right? Okay. I sent it at the same time. I put both of them in there.
Si, senorita. Yes.
Thanks, little girl.
It's nice to get it like in email if you do it from your computer and if you don't want to open Facebook and Messenger. But something's screwy with my computer. I haven't been able to use it in like a month.
Hey, this is an 18-plus show for a reason, but James Burgess had the perfect comment. God damn it. That's enough of the fucking profanity.
Dom, your computer would be fine if you didn't go to all those sketchy porn sites.
I watch porn on my phone.
So, defensive coordinator and former defensive coordinator of the University of Michigan, but the defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens was hired by Seattle. So all that is left with the coaching vacancy as of right now is the Washington Commanders, and they're panicking on whether to take Quinn or AG because Ben Johnson said, fuck off. I mean, that's basically what he told them.
Well, he looked at it and he was like, Geno Smith, Drew Lock, Sam Howell, a rookie. Everyone eat a bag of dicks.
Yeah, but Sam Howell's not technically a rookie, but he's a third-year guy.
No, I'm saying Sam Howell, comma, a rookie.
Right.
Because I'm assuming Washington will draft one.
So he decides to stay here. And all I said was I prepared mentally for him to be gone. I was ready to move on. I don't mean fire the guy. Because every single one of us every fucking game this season, every fan out there on every page bitched about every time the third quarter would come around. And the offense would just go flatter than Travis Kelce's girlfriend. It would be more vanilla than Pasty J. Glazer.
Now that's a time I don't mind hearing a Taylor Swift reference.
And you know what? He will get better job offers, and not from the bums at the bottom of the league, if he sticks here and turns us into the winner. And the exact quote, if you go verbatim to what Dan Campbell said, this was our easiest path to the Super Bowl because we were right here at the NFC Championship game. We just had to win one game to get there. It is not easy to get where we were this year, and we have to work hard to do it. That is the entire quote. He said, this was our only shot this season to get in.
Right.
Yep.
Chad, no, this is my regular shoot group. I'm waiting. I got 2 more spots open, and they're taken. One guy's running late, and the other guy it just evidently hasn't read it. We just got robbed. We got robbed by what?
We didn't. No, we didn't. We
No.
did the exact same thing we've been doing all year, and it didn't happen to work this time. And we going for it where we did and when we did were the smart plays.
And throwing to the most clutch receiver on the team on 3rd down and 4th down all season, to have him drop and then get up and smile and walk to the sideline, that just rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, in such a critical situation, when they started to pull close the first time we went for this. Oh, I'm thinking somebody's bank account got padded.
I did see
Did you
something
hear-
about prop bets and Josh Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Did you also hear his response? He said, "Oh well, shit happens."
That's not
We
good.
know, motherfucker.
And
He shows a
You
little
know,
bit of restraint.
I'm a little ashamed of a lot of Detroit Lions fans, and even though Cam Sutton didn't react to it well, I am ashamed of the fans that sat there and dogged him when we didn't have any more around him to help him. We put him on an island against everybody's elite number 1 wide receivers. And it said,
I mean, it wasn't.
And it was because Mosley got hurt. Because believe it or not, if you look statistically, Mosley was supposed to be the CB1.
Yeah.
Sutton was supposed to be the CB2.
It was I said this at the beginning of the year when Mosley got hurt. I said it was a little foolish of us to expect him to be healthy all year.
But we didn't expect him to go down after 2 snaps. I mean, he went down faster than Aaron Rodgers from a shooting curse.
Mm-hmm.
Until
But
he proves
also-
otherwise, Emmanuel Mosley is Jason Verrett 2.0.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I am not bringing Mosley back. And after he didn't back up his trash talking for an entire year with Deebo Samuels, I'm not bringing CJGJ back either if I'm the GM.
I would offer him a 1-year deal because that's all he's going to get anywhere else.
I'm as far as I'm concerned,
Done.
the secondary played better when he wasn't on the field overall.
It's true. That's how Iffy
Yes.
emerged.
That's how Iffy emerged. That's how Walker looked good for 6 straight weeks. There's something that went on between Walker and AG. I have the feeling he may be trade bait this offseason. And I'm good with it either way because it's the last year and there's no dead cap in that 3-year deal now.
Right.
If we keep him, great, because it's cheap. If we get rid of him, great, because it's more draft capital.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I'm at either way on that.
It's a rare win-win. Isn't it nice to have a competent GM?
Yes, it is nice to have a competent GM. And in all actuality, Brad Holmes can look at it and go, $45 million a year, 50? What? I don't have to do that. You're under contract. Player ask for a trade. He could actually tell Goff that if he wants. And I'm not saying they're going to. I'm just saying that could be the card he plays.
We got further, obviously, than anyone expected us to. I was one of the ones that said if he wins 2 playoff games, give him that extension. I never put a number out there. I'm not giving him $50 million a year. I'm just not.
And we talked about it, and we broke it down together last offseason, because you and I talked about this in a personal chat.
Right.
At nauseum one day.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at all the contracts and broke it down. It's 18.2%. Robert Bertana, he didn't cost us the win. Percentage-wise, he made the right call.
I was going to say, tell that guy to go look at Badgley's field goal percentage from beyond 48 yards.
And if he isn't in a dome or in Denver where the air is thinner and the ball travels better, guess what? Badgley is total ass outside.
He has the lowest percentage outside of 48 yards of any kicker with the qualifying number of attempts.
Oh, I'm not blaming Goff. What I'm saying is
Brad Holmes.
Jason Cusimano, I'm not blaming Goff. What I'm saying is, other than Matthew Stafford after a traded year to a team that did not sign him to the contract that was more than this percentage, there has not been a Super Bowl winning quarterback that has been paid more than 18.2% of a team's salary. And that particular quarterback that was paid that much was Tom Brady, and everybody else was on a rookie contract.
And he still took less than market value.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So at 18.2% with the current cap salary, we broke it down. This year is $41.2 million.
Oh, how interesting.
Next year, when it increases, goes up to 43.8. The following year, when it increases the last time before the next CBA has to be negotiated.
So we're literally without even knowing it, we were within $2 million per year.
Right.
Give yourself a pat on the back because I'm giving myself one.
You can give yourself one, but you know what? It's just because Capology, we said 18% off the top of my head, and the 0.2 is what pushes it up that much. So we were right with the exact numbers. That's it. So if you backload the contract a little bit, he deserves an extension, but he's not worth $100 million over 2 years. Absolutely. That's what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is right now, his actual value is about Daniel Jones was last year when they signed that contract, $40 million.
But the problem with that is, though, that you had guys like Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts and these other quarterbacks sign these big money deals, and he knows he did more than them. So right there off the bat, he's worth more than them.
Did he play in the Super Bowl? He's not more than Jalen Hurts.
He's theoretically he's worth more. How many months have I been saying if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm sitting him down and saying, look, I don't give a fuck about Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, or anyone else that got overpaid. I'm not stupid.
And Reed Greenfield agrees in the 35 to 40 million, and the ceiling is 41.2 for this season coming up, but he's under contract this season. We don't have to give him that this season. He makes 32.
He's under contract for 21.
No, the actual cap, the full cap hit is 32.5. The dead cap hit is $5 million.
Let me ask all of you guys, if you were Brad Holmes, would you go as far as to make false promises to Goff and his agent? I would.
So just so he plays this season?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, if you get us to the Super Bowl, we'll give you $50 million a year for 3 years.
Well,
and then
that's
not
one
do
way
it.
to go about it. But no, I would offer him like 42 a year and give him
incentives.
That you take me to the Super Bowl, you can get your 50 a year.
Oh, I would sign him
Yeah.
right at 41-2, like I said, for the first year of that extension. Then go to the 43-8. Then go to the 45, because that is the progression to stay at that percentage rate.
Just when they sit down to negotiate, just pull up a PowerPoint, and the only thing that's on the screen is 18.5, and ask Goff's agent if he knows what that number means.
Right. That's it. And if you are on social media and you follow the Washington Commanders, everybody needs to blow up their social media page with how good of a defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn is and how much of a better head coach he'll be. Talk them into signing him over Dan Quinn, because we already know Dan Quinn can't win a Super Bowl. He was up 28-3 in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that's right. He
Why do
was
you want us all
Atlanta's
to
head
burn in hell?
coach. I mean, it's the fail cants, par for the course.
They went away from what got them there.
Yeah, running the ball.
Dominating on the ground. They were barely passing the ball. I think through the end of the third quarter, Matt Ryan had 20 attempts. He ended the game with 43.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
they did
puckered.
what the Lions just did.
They puckered.
Did exactly what the Giants just did. Yep.
While the rushing defense improved greatly, guess what did not improve? With better talent on the team overall, regardless of how bad it was compared to the rest of the league, it was better than we had the past 2 years. The passing game downgraded in defense.
You're saying pass defense?
Pass defense.
Yeah, because
we've got.
Go ahead.
We got more turnovers, but over half of them, if they weren't deflected or popped up in the air and tipped, we didn't get them.
I've been saying all year we don't force enough turnovers.
We went up by, what was it? We went from 16 to 23. That's 7 improvement, yet we spent $20 million more on our defense this year. We put more into defense technically than everybody thinks, because everybody that was signed on the offense that was big contracts, they were already signed.
Obviously we all know, but let me just break it down. We have a CB2 forced to play CB1. Our CB2 was a guy elevated from the practice squad. Our safeties are great, but if your corners are not good, you're going to get torched, and our pass rush is inconsistent.
And Jason Casamana, you're exactly right. Reynolds all of a sudden forgot how to catch the ball, and that was a joke. That's right, because his first 3 targets were drops. All of them hit him in the hand. And I don't care if you got a guy draped on your back. I don't care if the ball goes through your hands to your chest or through your hands to the ground. What is the one job every wide receiver has, and he's a vet?
Catch the fucking ball!
Jeremy, also Jason said, why not keep Aaron Glenn?
I gave the reasons why. Until Dan Campbell put his hands on the defense after that embarrassing loss in Chicago, this defense was not aggressive.
I agree.
We got pressured, but we weren't getting sacks. All of a sudden, my God, we turned Russell Wilson into a punching bag.
Yeah.
We made Derek Carr leave the game and had to see famous Jameis.
Early in the year, we were getting not a ton of sacks, but we were getting consistent pressure, and that was covering up for Cam Sutton's inadequacies.
Right. And also, if you think about it, through the first, 4 games, did he really face any elite wide receiver ones?
That too.
Nope.
We didn't even really play a lot of good teams, period, this year. And most of the good ones we lost.
Except for Kansas City.
Right. And honestly, that's okay. Good teams lose to other good teams.
Except for Tampa Bay.
Tampa, I don't know that they're really that good.
Division. That's all I got to say. They've won it 4 years in a row there. They're a good team.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers
is good.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the longest current playoff streak in the NFL.
Right.
At 5, I believe.
Yep. And if we wouldn't have won the year before in Week 18 versus the Packers, it would still be the Packers.
Maybe just the NFC, because I feel like Kansas City's been to the playoffs 5 years in a row, haven't they?
And up until that point, the Packers hadn't missed a playoff game since, what was it, 2014?
That sounds right.
Let's make an early shout out to our sponsors. It's not the florist. What is it?
Oh, we should have won that game. We outplayed them in the first half, and we played flat in the third quarter, and they got caught up on a couple of things. And in 2014, we had a Super Bowl defense. Absolutely gun guy.
We had all world defense.
And for the first half, we manhandled the 49ers. Where I disagree, where he took points instead of going for the touchdown, was at the end of the half. The difference between being 17 points up and 21 points up mentally with your opponent is huge.
It is.
The clock was
Yeah,
And getting away from the run the entire second half.
that too. I think Frisco figured something out with our run game in the second half. It looked like it. They should have been feeding Montgomery more.
Well,
Exactly.
Montgomery was good in the middle, and they did use him again in the fourth quarter. But what they went away from was the big gash plays we got from Gibbs on the outside.
Yep.
The one play where Gibbs fumbled, where'd he run? Up the gut.
Up the middle. He definitely puckered.
Oh, yeah. He went to the
After,
wrong.
because think about what happened in the span of 5 plays.
Yeah. It was the play after the Brandon Ayuk circus catch off the face mask when Kendall Vildor actually looked like a real corner and in position to make an interception he missed. There's a reason he's a cornerback. He can't catch the ball.
Yeah. I was watching the game with my buddy, and he had just, it was a few plays before that when Sutton almost had that interception. And I said the same thing. That's why he's a defensive back, because if you can catch, you will be a wide receiver. Want to know how I know? Steve Smith, a dude shorter than my sister.
That's my guy right there.
I love Steve Smith. I wish I would have saved my Steve Smith jersey and sent it to you, Will, because my buddy that I sent it to, I bet he never wears it.
I have one already.
Oh, you have a Steve Smith?
I'll show you sometime.
Dope. Getting ready to put another order together for anyone that's interested.
And I don't want to rehash that particular game that much. And Steve Smith was an ass-kicking badass too. Absolutely. And just because it is so hard to get back to where we were this season, we might not make it there, but we should still have a division-winning team.
I agree.
So, yeah. Way too early prediction is 10 wins.
Yeah, I'm that's my floor. It's the same floor I had this year. And I was almost dead nuts on. You can ask Dom. I said I see 11 wins all day. 12 wins were possible.
You did say that, and I did not believe it until we had them.
Right.
Man, fuck, what a season.
And I also called who'd we sweep and who'd we split with in the division, right? I said, I bet we go 4-2 in the division. I said, we're going to split with Chicago. You goes, no. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely called a loss to Chicago. I knew we weren't sweeping. I was like, there's going to be a because Lions loss in there somewhere.
Right. But
Chicago is not that bad.
No, they're a good defense. They just don't have an offense yet.
They've got some weapons that just...
Hey, Patty, yes, you did. I said we'll win the division, at least win the home playoff game. I didn't expect us to get 2 home playoff games. And the way our seeding was lined up,
Thank you, Green Bay.
we shouldn't have. But Green Bay exposed the frauds that normally don't come out to the divisional round in the wild card round.
I think that Dallas looked past them.
Oh,
100%.
they definitely did.
Or they showed up mentally about 15 minutes too late, and by then that game was already over. That game was over in the first fucking quarter.
Yeah, it was 27-0.
Aaron Jones owns the Cowboys.
He does.
Aaron
Not
Jones,
Jerry Jones. Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones is the equivalent of Aaron Rodgers to Chicago with the Cowboys.
Yep.
You realize since Aaron Rodgers won his first game there, They're 9-1 in Cowboy State in Cowboy.
Mm-hmm. He's
Nine-
like Jim Tomey with the Tigers.
Right.
Jim Tomey just for the entire part of his career he was in Cleveland. Whether it was in Cleveland or in Detroit, he showed up and he just bent us over.
Oh,
No
yeah.
grease.
Patty Grimes, you're right. Dallas got karma for the Lions screw job, but at the same time, that's what got them the second seed. Because they said if they lose and Philly wins, and thank God, New York, you did your job. Good job, Giant. Costing you draft spots to beat a rival. Fantastic.
Serious question though, not trying to talk shit, Leonard. Is Galladay still under contract? Did he get cut?
That's what his
He
last
got
season.
cut. This season right here was the end of our dead cap from him.
Oh, so he's done.
Yep, he's done.
Fred Peterson won Friday.
Does he want to come back to Detroit and take Josh Reynolds' place?
And Fred Peterson says, "Fuck the Swifties." No, she's fine for me. You can have her.
Yeah, I like my women to actually come equipped with breasticles.
And an ass.
She is flatter than a fucking pool table, isn't she?
Dude, she's a Barbie doll, for God's sakes.
No, she's not a Barbie doll. A Barbie doll, if you made her a real life woman, is 36, 24, 34.
Barbie dolls dress better.
Yeah. You know what she is? She's a Bratz doll.
She doesn't have as big of a head, but I could see it.
Did you guys hear the news about Kyle Juszczyk's life?
Pasty J. Glazer, Fred Peterson asked you a question in the chat.
Oh, what did he say?
Congratulations on the job interview this morning, bud. We missed you. Did you get lead banjo?
Did you get
I'm trying, motherfucker. Dude, I'll know by Saturday. I was told. I did my first and second interview today, so I was like, okay, let's go. So
he's not.
Wait a minute.
Banjo.
Wait a minute. Dan Leonard's getting a real job.
Yep.
So the world's coming to an end.
Yes.
Man, fuck
Ah,
you.
man, I hope I get another date with that chick before then. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hope when you reach her pants, there's a big cock hanging there for you.
Hey, Dom. Leonard doesn't play banjo. He plays electric triangle.
Yeah.
Keep it up, and
You
he's
play the fucking skin flute. Shut up, motherfucker.
The electric triangle's fantastic.
I think we have same mentality and hunger we did this year. I think we'll get back to the NFC Championship game next season. Is the job on Hee Haw? No, they're not bringing that back, damn it. So
Hee Haw the next generation.
Hee Haw the next generation instead of Buck Owens and Roy Clark. You could have Dan Leonard and Will Vogel going, "Where, oh, where are you?"
Okay, so speaking of next season, who does this first place schedule? Who's that going to give us?
Every single first place division winner outside of our division. So you got Baltimore, you got Kansas City, you got the Texans, you got Miami, right? No, Buffalo. It'll be Buffalo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it Dallas? Was it Dallas or is it Philly?
It's
Dallas won the division.
at Dallas for a third fucking year in a row. Schedulers, get that shit right.
I'm going this time.
When Patty Grimes says, "Where, oh, where are my team wins?" Oh. So let's
I'll
talk-
be at the Jerry Dome because that looks like the most attractive road game.
and we need to not play 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. Absolutely. Let's get the 1 seed next year. But you know what that's going to take? It's going to take 3 things on defense. First and foremost, another dominant tackle to put beside Aleem McNeil. The guy I like, where we don't have to spend somebody in the first round to get it, because we have other needs on defense too. Devondre Sweat out of Texas. Mammoth of a guy, collapses the pocket, can be sitting right there. That'll rotate in, and you won't even be able to tell when it's Broderick Martin comes in.
In practice on the Senior Bowl, they had to double him.
Devontae Sweat.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
Go watch his film. Don't watch just the highlights or the hype film. Pick a
Oh, I know
game.
exactly who you're talking about.
Pick a game and watch them. That's all
Yeah.
I got to say. The other guy I like, and if some got for, let's have the C's part and the prediction of Nostradamus Jeremy come true again. Kool-Aid McKinstry falls to 29.
So you got Kool-Aid and a hooker on the same team.
I don't know
Will, how
about
the fuck are you not in jail? The fucking head, the whole Kool-Aid and the hooker. Fucking Bill Cosby ass motherfucker over there.
And
J-E-L. Oh no!
then we need to find that wide receiver with the last name of Blow.
Bobby.
Hooker. Oh, for the hooker to blow connection.
Yeah.
Hooker with the deep ball to blow touchdown.
There's my top 2 targets in free agency for cornerback, because we do need a veteran at cornerback 1. I don't want to stick a rookie over there. I want a rookie to develop from the slot and earn his way up the same way
Right.
Slade back in 2014 to 16.
Mm-hmm. Remember how god awful he was his rookie year?
Oh yeah, sitting in the.
I wish I would have known you back then, because I was telling everyone that would listen, and even the people that wouldn't. I said, I'm 90% sure that dude's going to be the best corner I've seen in my life in a Lions uniform.
Well, since how he was on the roster, we have our first shot to grab him before anybody else in the offseason. And it's if Ertz actually wants to play. And I think he does, because he talked about he likes the fact that Steve Hyden, the tight ends coach, is here. And he likes the fact that that Dan Campbell is a coach that played tight end and is the type of coach that players want to run through walls for. So I think we have a good chance to sign Ertz for cheap as a backup. And then if that's the case, we really don't have to find a fullback, because you could just move James Mitchell to fullback.
He played some H-back in college.
And Brock Wright is a restricted free agent, which means the Lions have to sign him or he gets waived and we get a compensatory pick the following year.
I'll take it.
And I would like to see Wright as the third option, because then you got Ertz, who became more of a red zone target and a blocking tight end. And then you have
40, 42, 43 catches in 7 games with the Cardinals.
And 127 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
That's just this season, boys. He
Right.
knew what he was doing. The problem is the rest of the team didn't.
Yeah, he was a Cardinal. I would have fake retired to get out of there too.
Exactly. And they actually bought out his contract. That's why the Lions were able to sign him to the practice squad. And I said 2 weeks before the end of the season, before even Laporta got hurt, the first time when I heard that
He was out there.
Mitchell was hurt, I said, why don't we just get Ertz off the couch, let him learn the playbook so we have him for the playoffs? Dom was
You
on
did.
that. Will was on that show. I think even you were on that show, Leonard, when I said it. Week 16, I think it was. How much better would we have been if Ertz was out there instead of Bersker?
Jeremy's like the Punxsutawney Phil of NFL football.
Hey,
Seer of seers, prognosticator of prognosticators. Speaking of which, that's in, what, 2 days?
What's that?
Groundhog Day. Well, it's Groundhog Day again. What if there is no tomorrow? There wasn't yesterday.
Hey, tomorrow never comes. It's always a day away.
Thank you. Amy.
There's another free agent tight end that's available you could possibly look at.
And Patty Grimes
Noah
goes, I remember
Who?
you saying that.
Who,
Noah
Leonard?
Fant.
Ooh.
Noah Fant.
If we got Noah Fant, we wouldn't need another really good wideout. The reason we didn't need one this year is because of Laporta. Laporta is basically our wide receiver too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I like the idea of Ertz and Wright playing tight, where they can both receive. And here's a crazy one that nobody realized. That play that we threw, the sweep to the left, the pass extreme to right where he chipped the guy, knocked him down, ran across, and then hooked up on the wheel route. That was the exact same play that we scored a 51-yard touchdown versus the Jets with Brock Wright. And that was the last time we ran that play.
And he dropped it the play before.
Yeah, because they ran that play twice in a row.
Until I knew that Laporta was going to be the man, I was like, damn, why don't they throw the ball to Brock Wright more? But
I want to enlighten some people because I heard, Romeo Okwara is a free agent. It's Julian Okwara that's the free agent because he had his 4 years of rookie contract.
Romeo's gone, right? Injury settlement?
No. Romeo, we restructured, so he's on the roster next year. This year, right now, he's on the roster, but there's no dead cap whatsoever.
Okay, that's fine.
Because remember, they stretched out. Last year, he's on the roster, and then after this, he has some carryover because they stretched out that nasty $13 million over 3 years to make it cheaper so we could afford people. Brilliant move by Brad Holmes and Matt Dunstall. They made his cap hit this last season $2 million. And guess what? That's what we got out of him. It's $2 million worth of D-end work.
Yeah, that's about right.
2 good games and disappeared the rest of them.
Cost us less per sack than Trey Flowers.
Yes.
Hey, you know what he cost us per sack? Charles Harris. What's that there, Dan?
Yeah. I got another edge rush you guys haven't even thought about. AJ Epinesa.
Oh, I've thought about it. He is the last year of his rookie contract, isn't he, with the Bills?
Yep. He's a free agent. And looking at spot track, Romeo is a free agent too.
And the Bills don't have the money to re-sign anybody.
If I hear AG got the job, before they finish the sentence, I'm in my car and heading to Allen Park. Laporta reminds me of Dallas Clark. Laporta actually
Laporta's better.
There's one guy that actually said he's the next me. It was Gronk.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a very apt because Laporta's blocking is good, not great. He stretches the field just like Gronk used to. He's a touchdown machine.
He had a bunch more catches and yards as rookie than Gronk did, but first 2 years, Gronk had like 25, 26 touchdowns total.
Right.
Laporta's faster than Gronk, too.
And Laporta's faster.
And Travis Kelce backed that up, too.
Yeah.
Fuck Travis Kelce and his...
You remind me of young Jason Witten. Jason Witten.
Ooh, I could see it. Good blocker, not great.
Mm-hmm.
Chadwick Robbins says I can see
reliable. That. People get hurt when they hit him.
We've really only got one game to talk about. It's really not worth talking about other than for the first time in NFC North history, the Lions have 7 Pro Bowlers in the Pro Bowl this year.
Nice.
We're not going to talk about the Pro Bowl skills competitions.
That's the only thing that matters, man.
I made it back, so I'm going to do the prop bet for him to win it again for the wide receiver best catch.
I might actually tune in and watch some of that if I'm home and I'm bored and I think about it.
I actually watch it and it's mildly entertaining. Not
like,
super entertaining.
Way back in the day, they used to do a pretty good job with that.
Yeah, fastest player, quarterback. Sorry.
The last Pro Bowl I watched and liked when they were hitting was pre-2008.
Was that the Sean Taylor hitting?
That might have been the last one I saw. It was either like 08 or 09.
And that was when Sean Taylor laid that guy out midfield trying to go for the ball. I was like, oh, that was good.
I really want a Miami Sean Taylor jersey. I really want the alternate Washington one, but I can't find it.
Jeremy, it's funny because I was watching funny clips from the
Which
Pro Bowl
one?
because it's Pro Bowl week, and it's the referees like, yes, there are fouls in the Pro Bowl, offsides, defense.
Leonard, I'm
But
talking about the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I remember when, like Dom said, I remember when the Pro Bowl used to have like the fastest player, the quarterback accuracy, the kicking competition, the strongest, yes. When the Pro Bowl was great.
Yeah.
When the
Wow.
Pro Bowl
when it
was
was
a
still in
scouting
Hawaii.
combine.
Yeah, when it was still in Hawaii.
No one wants to go.
Supposedly
Everyone's been to
Aloha.
Orlando. No one wants to go to Orlando.
Just
Supposedly
like all the other
Aloha
guys in
Stadium's
entertainment
going
been
down.
on Taylor Swift. Nobody wants to go there again.
Aloha Stadium, I think, is getting torn down.
Yes, I'm having my fun poking the shots because now we got Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan facing off against Pat Mahomes and Travis Swift.
Yep.
And
Travis Swift.
the head coach, who happens to be the greatest offensive mind of the 21st century.
Yes.
Did you guys?
Yeah, what Kyle Shanahan's done with the Mr. Irrelevant, it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, you were talking about Andy Reid. I'm sorry.
Did you guys see the viral video of that tennis female player who looks like Brock Purdy? I forgot what her name is.
I've seen pictures before.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
She does.
Have you seen his sister?
Stop.
It's not his sister.
I just want Dom to finish his goddamn thought about the fucking jersey.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's the alternate. Instead of maroon, it's like a little bit browner. It's got yellow. It's also got like the red skin on it. Kind of looks like a Florida State jersey, but I haven't seen one. It's not on my jersey site. It's out there somewhere, but I haven't even seen a picture of one in a long time.
That was the salute to service his second year in the NFL, if I remember right. That's why it was the brown and tans with the red.
Could be.
Dom
If I
has a
remember
great
right.
jersey hookup.
That's the only one I remember with brown in it. And I think wasn't Kirk Cousins on the team at that time?
I remember the
You
brown.
remember those ones? They were a little more brown than maroon. They had a lot of yellow on them, and like the redskin Seminole looking cat.
And the pants were tan, weren't they?
And
we don't know. We weren't looking at the dude's asses.
It's Lord. Every time I start to speak, you guys speak. Those jerseys were ugly as shit. You know what? I respect what it represented. What they did was that every year they've done the salute to service. Every 2 or 3 years they change it to the base uniform color, whether it's dress or camo of the unit or branch they're supporting.
Right.
And that year it was Marines, so it was the dress tan.
Yeah. Yeah, because they had the tan pants, like Will was saying.
Yeah, and all the teams had them. What it was is the stripes, the numbers, and the names all had the colors of the teams and the logos.
Yep.
I mean, and I love the salute to services. I don't care who says they're ugly.
Dude, when I first got that Kenny Galladay one that I have, the digital camo, everyone was hating on it. 3 years later, they're like, that's dope. I'm like, it's been dope the whole time.
Well, like that Amon Ra, I seen somebody wearing a hutch when I was out. And I was like, hey, I got an Amon Ra just like they go, no fucking way. You know how much I paid for this? I said, a lot more than I paid for mine.
Dom, I gotta
Yeah,
get
when people see me and ask me about it, I'm like, how much you got? We can work something out.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Jeremy, since I still have one that I neglected to bring, I will be in Flint on the 17th. I think there's a Dayton family show.
Okay.
I think it's the 17th. Even if I'm up there by two of my buddies for Cleveland were supposed to come, but one of them found out today he'll be in Atlanta all week with his boss and the new IT guy. I was like, dude, fuck that. Quit. I'm like, quit your job. Jobs come and go. Dayton family is forever.
Let's see if I quoted this right. We had 5 that were in the Pro Bowl that weren't alternates, correct? and it was
Yep.
Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs that made it in as alternates, correct?
Yes.
No, Amon-Ra was in.
No,
Was he an alternate?
he was an
Yeah.
alternate.
The fucking disrespect. You know what? He lives off that shit. I hope he's a Pro Bowl alternate his whole career.
My autographed Sanders game jersey with Tony Staines from Lafayette, Coney Island is a pretty good one, he says. That's awesome. But
So who are the five that were named?
You guys.
It was Sewell,
Rags, and Jonah were the three. Laporta and Goff, isn't that right? Was the
Jonah
five?
again?
Didn't we use Maben on the offense you're saying?
Oh no, that's pro. That's all pro.
Oh.
8 all pro. Big difference. I like the all pro better. Pro Bowl
Yeah, because popularity contest, all pro. Yeah, Pro Bowls are nice. All pros are vastly more telling.
Whether it's first or second team is way more because that's voted on by your peers, your players and coaches, and the media.
Yep.
And
apparently, the Pro Bowl now is like half fan vote, half NFLPA. Ish.
Yeah, because what it is after the initial vote, then it goes to the NFLPA for the alternates. But the alternates are already picked by who was second in the voting at each position all the way around. So
that makes sense.
But
they should just either take the fan vote out of it or just get rid of Pro Bowl because there's no game.
Right. It's flag football now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember what happened to Robert Edwards playing beach flag football?
Yeah. If you want to make it a true Pro Bowl, I say take it back to Hawaii and do it like they used to before it became the Super Bowl.
Have it the week after the Super Bowl. No one will watch it, though.
Yeah.
I would watch it.
2 weeks after. And the reason why, you allow the Super Bowl team to rest.
Fuck, have it in the goddamn off season and make it a huge thing.
The reason why
have it in like fucking March.
Okay. The reason why I say 2 weeks, it is almost March, and March is the combine, free agency, and everything else. So 2 weeks at the end of the month in February, after the Daytona 500, because you got to compete with that. So you go 2 weeks after, because the week after the Super Bowl is Daytona 500 week. So you don't compete with that. You go 2 weeks. The winner of the Super Bowl plays a collection of 53 players from every other team's roster. And that team plays the best players from every team.
Oh, that'd be fucking amazing. That would be fucking amazing.
And you make it worth their while. Make it a prize thing. Where it's worth their while for that one game. It's more than a game check.
Last I heard, the NFL's got $300 million extra in profit from Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Call it the Swift Bowl. I don't care.
Chadwick Robbins loves that idea. That would be awesome. The Super Bowl winner versus 53 guys from all 31 other teams.
I literally, something in my pants just moved north just thinking about that.
Oh, God.
You're at a half chub.
Nick Half Chubb. That was my name in chats for forever.
I'm going to say this joke, and I mean it. I'm waiting for McDonald's to sell hot dogs, so when you're at the drive-thru, you can ask
McWiener
and get it supersized.
That's an old bit, but it's still funny. Also, speaking of Half Chubb, get well soon, Nick Chubb. We love you. We need you back. NFL's not the same without you.
Chadwick got a laugh out of
Cleveland
that.
was.
That's am I.
Now that the season's over, how long is he?
The winning team gets Taylor Swift as a fan. Make it worthwhile with McVay's wife.
What?
What were you saying, Keegan?
My gosh. I forgot what I was saying.
Echinacea helps with your memory. Marijuana does not, I'm told.
James Burgess, I guarantee you she doesn't have a moneymaker that shakes that much.
Taylor Swift?
$1 million your last tour.
You know what? I saw someone post something about it, and it kind of made me a little more okay with the whole Taylor Swift thing. Apparently, there's a lot of 10, 8 to 15-year-old girls that are now watching football with their dads because of Taylor Swift, basically. That
Mhm.
I can get down with.
Right. And I'm perfect with that. But you know what? They need to let occasionally announcer for more of those games where Taylor Swift is watching. And I'm going to tell you why. He is the best football 101 color announcer in the game.
Oh yeah, he did a couple of our preseason games a couple of years ago. It was great.
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic.
What's he doing now? Even
He's still doing game sideline reporting and announcing for some of the games, but it's always the B games, not the main one.
oh,
He has no personality.
Who are
that's
we
not
talking about?
true. Akeem
Who?
Talib,
Oh,
Yeah,
Talib.
he
a
had no
football player
personality
from
at
a
all.
football player from a basketball school that was actually really good.
Yep.
First
Paul
round
Dean,
pick, got drafted by the Buccaneers, played great, ended
Mhm.
up getting traded to the Patriots.
played,
Then Denver.
then went to Denver, then went on somewhere else and retired. But anyways,
Yeah.
Lost his
Paul
shit,
Dean,
beat the hell out of his sister's boyfriend.
Paul Deem has a comment here I want to read. Mary Jane might be a problem if you keep talking, especially with the goddamn Swifties. You know, actually watching dad and not trying to fucking talk.
I remember now. I remember what I was saying.
Yes.
I was asking, now that the season's over, how long is Chubb supposed to be out?
Travis,
Who? Oh, Chubb.
Chubb.
Last I heard, they think he's on schedule to be back for next season. He won't be in the off-season workouts. He might not be in OTAs. He probably won't barely play in the preseason, but he wouldn't anyways. But they said he should be ready for the start of the season. And God, I hope he's at least 80% as good as he was, because when he's good, he's the best running back in football. And anyone that says different, fight me.
and by the way, I will say that heart that Travis Kelce shot up to the box, that wasn't for that wasn't for Taylor Swift. That was for Jason Kelce because he's built better.
He's got a better rack.
Exactly.
Their
Fred Peterson said,
podcast.
Fred Peterson said Crabtree yanked his chain talking about.
Do they have one? Will?
The Kelsey Bros. Yeah, the New Heights podcast.
Oh, I love that podcast. It's great.
It's Travis and Jason. It's hilarious.
Oh, that
I don't
They tell
like-
stories.
I don't like Travis Kelce very much. I feel like he's trying too hard to be the next Gronk.
You'll think it's funny. I guarantee it.
That reminds me, Will, I saw a thing on New Heights that Jason's daughters were asking Travis when he would marry Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's funny. That's
And he said never.
Hell, the
He
Swifties
just
are
downplayed it. He didn't say that. So, my bad.
the Swifties are bad, but now the Lions are winning. I'm seeing a lot of soccer moms wearing jerseys. I've seen one at the bar over the weekend, shaking my head. No, that's great. Marry
Dude,
them. Oh wait, you don't have to.
I am I'm not really, because there's bandies all over this town, but like it started early in the year, like every week, more and more people in Lions gear. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm going to be getting Lions soon.
I have seen more Lions gear over the last 2 months than I've seen in my entire 48 years as a fan.
Yeah,
I would buy that. Like there's people out here, like the whole family's wearing them on a Tuesday at Kroger.
Right.
There's little kids in like a lion Halloween costume in September. I have pictures of them on my phone.
Dom, I'm getting a shirt from Jeremy. I can't wait.
Lying out. You might as well just get you a jersey, bro. Send me that money. I got you.
It's not support.
Or just tell me what you want and we'll put it in the order. Go ahead, Jeremy.
It's not support, but some of them shaking my head. What the fuck?
What?
Hey, you know what? I understand us
There's
guards that have been here supporting the team, wearing whatever we wear. in support of the team the entire time. And it's hard to accept that now we're nationally accepted. Do you know? I've heard
I'm
way
okay.
more out of the podcasting community from other podcasters from other teams that were more upset that the Lions lost than our rivals in our fan base.
We
Yep.
really, I don't, fuck Dallas from now and for forever. We are America's team.
Even John Madden said it, like Jeremy said.
Well, yeah, back in 1991, after we whipped Dallas's ass in our house then.
And especially now that we have this sort of exposure, like, of course we're going to have casuals. Not everyone's a geeky nerd about this team like we are.
It took a lot. Believe it or not, I learned about Cap was off the older Maddens before they made it to where you could clear salary cap and all that stuff when they first came out with the franchise stuff. I loved it.
I played the new Madden every year from 93 when the Jets were called New Jersey all the way through 2003. I haven't played much since then. Allegedly the new college football is finally coming out. I might buy a PS5 for that.
James,
and I don't even like playing the games, but I love that recruiting. It's so fun.
James Burgess, do you know tattling to someone's dad? Do you know what that used to happen in high school? You know, snitches get stitches.
And end up in ditches.
You're due, Jeremy.
I had to do it because I had my pocket knife set out.
Or the dad beats the snitch's ass.
Oh, that would happen back in the day.
Hey, your dad's in the chat. I just saw.
Yeah, I know. Smoking Dad. He says, "Hey guys,
Hey, Smoking Dad.
Snowman Mountain Multimedia backed out. I wanted to talk to Brian Snow. It's been a minute since he's been on the podcast, but next week is Super Bowl week, and we'll actually have a pick'em. I didn't put pick'em in there because who gives a shit who wins the Pro Bowl? It means
I'm
nothing.
calling it tie.
It hasn't tied since they tackled.
No, because the 1 year Mac Jones had a 70-yard scramble for the game-winning touchdown. Mac Jones. McCorkle.
McCorkle. Who names a kid McCorkle? It's terrible.
Remember, like, I don't know, before he got drafted, and I said Mac Jones has such a low NFL ceiling, he has to duck when he walks in a room? Guess who was right?
I think I called it too.
I mean, it wasn't a super hot take.
Stop.
He was NFL ready.
Yeah, the lowest ceiling was the highest floor.
What'd you say, Leonard?
He had the lowest ceiling, but he had the highest floor too.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. Each year he went, it shrunk.
Yeah, they were like 3 inches apart, like the length of his penis.
Oh my God.
Hey,
Laying on his stomach.
You know what Mac Jones' career is? It's that hallway you walk to get into the Wonka factory where everything just keeps shrinking.
Oh man, DJ's gonna be pissed because I'm cackling. I don't care.
Got the Lions overalls. I'm a little jealous. He's got the bib overalls.
There's overalls?
Yes. There is bib overalls. They're kind of cool. You got the big lion across the big pocket right here where you got the two pockets that go together. There's line stretched right across that. Then it's got little lions.
I have not had a pair of overalls since I was wearing Oshkosh Bagosh.
Oh.
They were cool for a minute thanks to Fresh Prince, but I never went back down that road. But I would get a Lions pair.
92, if I remember right. Tom? Next one, 92, maybe 93-ish.
Yep. Like the cross colors era. And like skids, major damage.
Fred Peterson, last week. Oh, that's funny. I remember when Zeke Havrici was all the rage back in the late 80s.
I was just talking about Zeke Havrici with someone literally like last week.
And Chadwick says, with one strap undone. Yep, that was the
Oh, of
Oscar.
course.
My Z Cavariccis that I had two pairs. I had the one that looked like the jeans version of the MC Hammer pants.
Yep.
And then I had the other one where my buddy says, if you ever leave your the zipper undone after going to the bathroom, you'll look like you're wearing Batman pants because of the flat.
I went and saw MC Hammer like 4 or 5 summers ago at Pine Knob, and they were selling gold parachute pants.
Every time I see gold parachute pants, in the back of my mind, I hear, oh.
Right?
Yep.
Too legit to quit.
Yep.
Everybody was fucking with Stanley Burrell back then.
We talked for an hour about football, and now we got into fashion.
Right?
You know what we won't talk about here because it's all bullshit? Because I don't care if you like left wing or right wing. They're probably the same bird that's been doing this to the American public since they created personal income tax. That's politics. We're not talking that.
Exactly.
That's one of the things on a lot of the podcasts that I listen to. They get a little too political for me. Like Cornette's podcast, Kevin Nash's podcast. Thankfully, on Kevin Nash's, it's got the breakups and the things so you can skip past topics.
Paul Deem, you're exactly right. We need to build the offensive line and defensive line with monsters. Starting next week, I'm getting more in depth with my college scouting. Somebody suggested the DN not named Trice from Washington, so I'm going to check him out. I already have done my homework on Tavondre Sweat, and I'm a yes at the second round because he's slated to be an early or a mid to late day 2 pick, and I'm fine with taking him at 29 so no one else grabs him in the first part of the third round.
I started doing a mock draft a couple weeks ago, and I got halfway through it, and then I threw my phone because I was like, fuck this, we're still in the playoffs.
Right. I picked one up, and I did one for the fun of it because Brendan Cook did one.
Mm-hmm.
But I refused to put it in my show chat because I was not going to put one in my show chat.
Yep.
I was the one that came up with the Trice hype.
No, I'm not talking about Trice. I'm talking about the one opposite him.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I do.
Is a huge motherfucker. Yes, he can play inside or outside. The other defensive end opposite Trice.
Yes, I do.
Well.
This just became a bowl scraping pencil. The hell? I feel like I'm on my podcast and there's sirens outside of JJ's apartment. I swear to God, every week, and I'm like, bro, you got to go inside. Like, run TV now.
The only thing I will not do is hit the scream button again because one of my buddies watching it said that's awful and it's way too loud. I think it's funny as hell because that scream's funny.
What scream? Do it.
Oh, you want me to do it? You want me to hit that scream button? I think it's this one.
That's not that bad.
But you know what? It's that time of night. I'm old. Not gonna lie. I need to talk about my sponsors. And everybody's favorite sponsor. On the count of 3, I would like you guys to get this right. It's FTP. No, it's not the florist. What is it, guys? 1,
Fuck
2, 3.
Fuck the Packers.
You guys are awful. We got it right one time. Your timing was so off.
That was the fucking worst.
It was.
You didn't say what the metered base was. Was it supposed to be fuck the Packers? Was it supposed to be 1, 2, 3 fuck the Packers?
Of 3. On the count of 3, I went 1, and somebody started already. I was like, "What?"
That was me. I'll own it.
Cool.
Tom's reactions were slow.
Ken Ballrick, we're farmers, and I used to stay with them for a couple of weeks in the summer. My grandma bought me a pair of bibs like Grandpa always wore. My mom said I always called them my barn pants. I usually do post my scouting profile because I do a list of the guys I would like the Lions to target, and I put it in my articles, and I post that article to the Kneecap Biters page. It usually takes me about 3-4 weeks to get it done. So by the end of February, I'll have that rope. So I'll do that for you, Fred. Not a problem.
Jeremy, who's our DJ Shark this year?
I think it's going to end up being Antoine Green. He started to develop. He's been on the special teams. He was very good for North Carolina with Drake May in his first year starting. I like the fact that he's a 4-4 guy. I like the fact that he has length speed. He ran great routes in college. And I think with another offseason working with Goff and company, he'll get better.
I agree.
Oh, well, okay. So that's on the Lions. I'm saying who's our second tier guy that is just that we're speaking into existence. Well, we got a couple weeks to figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to start looking. I haven't even, that's the other, in addition to not doing a mock draft, I haven't barely looked at the free agent lists.
Right. No,
I've just been so focused on winning.
Oh, upcoming free agent. Let's take a look.
Somebody said something in one of the groups. I don't even know who the dude was, but it's stuck with me ever since. When something like this, winners focus on winning, losers focus on winners. I was like, that is fucking brilliant.
To answer your question, Dom, a possible DCJ? That kind of guy?
He's got some wheels. Josh Reynolds is under contract for one more year, correct, Jeremy?
Oh, he's a free agent.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we gave him the 2-year deal 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Depending on who's out there, I would still consider bringing him back. He had the worst game of his career at the worst possible time. He puckered as well. He dropped that first one, then it was in his head.
And then he smiled walking to the sideline. I wouldn't re-sign that dude.
Goff trusts it. How many times did I call plays for Josh Reynolds this year, Jeremy?
I know.
10?
I'm still not bringing him back.
I probably wouldn't either. And as much we don't need T. Higgins, Leonard.
Wait. When you are doing something that costs the team the game and that's losing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hate that and not be smiling when you walk off the field.
I didn't.
Right?
I didn't see that.
He did. Every play.
And then he said,
I've never seen it because he doesn't get interviewed post game. The only thing I knew about Josh Reynolds this whole time was he's Goff's boy from LA, and every year he's been better and more clutch.
Okay.
Until that big spot.
This guy plays for a rival, but did not have the season they expected as the number 2 wide receiver. But with a better quarterback, he might be amazing.
Wait, give me a hint.
No, Darnell Mooney.
Ooh.
He's a free agent.
Ooh. How old is he?
How old is he?
Like 20, 28, 27, 28?
He's young.
25, yeah.
25?
Coming off his rookie contract.
Let him go get overpaid somewhere else. You know who he is? He's poor man's Chris Godwin.
I think he's better than Chris Godwin. He's had no quarterback.
Really? Better than Chris? You know I'm a Chris Godwin hater. You're saying he's better? Chris Godwin's actually pretty fucking good. But he's also been the number 2 receiver to the most consistent receiver to start a career in history.
Right.
Like Mike Evans is that guy.
Or you could have your really fast slot guy back who's not that tall.
Back. As in former Lion?
No. That type of guy. In between height. 6 foot to 6'3".
Give me a hint again.
Fast as shit, had big plays in the playoffs, but their team can't make a Super Bowl.
Gabriel Davis.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's had injury problems. Or was that just this year?
Let's see.
He's going to cost too much.
He's
He is. He's going to get the bag. He's streaky is his problem. He's either amazing or he's dog shit. There's no in between. There's no consistency.
Okay.
How about a guy like KJ Osborne?
I don't think they're. I think they're going to
that, and I don't know that he's that good. He looked like
Yeah,
I mean, he was decent his first couple of years, but then if you're one or two depth chart spots behind the third best receiver in the NFL, or is he higher? Where do you guys got Justin Jefferson? Top 3? I'm saying top 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another slot receiver that plays on a really good team, and they're not going to be able to afford anybody right now because they just gave their quarterback the bag last year.
Oh, Tyler Boyd.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Higgins is probably gone too. Actually, I think they might keep Boyd because they can get him cheaper than Higgins. Higgins is gone.
Actually, Boyd.
Where's he going to go? Who needs a wideout?
Titans.
Or who's got a bunch of money? The
Titans is OC
The
went
Giants need a wideout.
Titans could use one. Giants could
Browns have a
definitely
ton of
use
money.
one. He said Titans, and I'm
Browns have
thinking
money.
Houston. I'm like, no, they don't. Tank Dell's going to come back healthy. And Nico Collins, either CJ Stroud is amazing or Nico Collins is the best wideout from Michigan this century.
Probably both actually, right there.
He's better than Braylon.
Here's the guy. Shows up when Nico Collins and Tank Dell goes down. Noah Brown, Houston Texans. They have no reason to sign him because
How old is he?
He'll be 27, 28.
I would take him on the relatively cheap. I mean, if you're letting Reynolds go, and who knows about DPJ, if he can take Reynolds' targets, I'd be okay with that.
Okay. His average depth of target was 11.8 yards this past season, and the average catch per reception was 4.
But now, hang on. Do we? Okay. If he's just taking Reynolds' spot, but I was going to say, who we haven't talked about at all? We should, because he's about 2/3 of the way of as advertised. J-Mo.
I think he should be taking Reynolds' spot, and then the other person we sign is taking that 4th wide receiver spot.
Right.
I think I would actually re-sign DPJ over Josh Reynolds.
For sure. Then that's almost your whole wideout roster. You can go get a 4 for cheaper.
What we're looking for, Chadwick Robbins, is not a wide receiver 1 money.
Or even a 2.
Michael Pittman Jr. has been a wide receiver 1 for Indy, and right now they really don't. Alec Pierce hasn't panned out in his 2 years yet there, which goes to show you it had a lot to do with that scheme at Cincinnati. I think they're going to keep Pittman. I think they'll franchise tag him for the 2nd year in a row. That's my gut feeling on it.
Wait, they did that this past year?
Yeah, he's
been in the league 4 years already, or 3, 4, right?
Michael Pittman Jr. This is his 4th year. He wasn't tagged or anything yet. He was a 2nd-round pick.
Oh, he's second. They'll tag him this year then,
Or sign him.
or re-sign
He's
him.
pretty good. Like, he kind of underachieved the first couple of years, but he's gotten better. I like Pittman.
Pittman,
Not for us, but I like him.
Pittman has been great for Indy ever since his 2nd year. He's had 1,000 yards. He had 900 yards and 1,000 yards again.
Yeah, he's good.
That was with the plethora. Of QBs.
That's what people don't realize when they try to talk shit to me about having jerseys from 30 different teams. I love the Lions, but I also just fucking love football, and I love watching good players play football.
Yeah. I got a receiver none of y'all talked about. It'd be perfect for the Lions and Dan Campbell.
Who's that?
Calvin Ridley. He's another gambler.
Too much money. He's sweet. We don't need him.
We don't need him.
Literally could not give him the target. Could, but he's not getting J-Mo's targets. He's not getting any of Amon-Ra's or Laporta's. We don't need anything more than a replacement for Josh Reynolds. Plus, notice how they finally started to get Gibbs involved in the passing game? There's another 50 catches right there.
Did you not get the joke in there The perfect wide receiver for the gambler, Dan Campbell.
I got it.
Oh. I like Calvin Ridley, though. I always have. I like the Jags. I like their whole team. I like fucking Doug Peterson. I love T-Law. Travis Etienne proved me wrong.
I have a signed jersey.
I like all those dudes. Christian Kirk. Love Ingram.
I have a signed jersey.
I got confused because I knew about the numbers, but I didn't know he picked 17. I'm like, who's that huge fucking wideout? I'm like, oh, it's Ingram.
Guess who else is coming into his 4th year this season that could end up being a free agent because he's underwhelmed?
Hmm.
Are we still talking wideout?
Well, he's a wideout in a tight end's body and has an allergy to the end zone like his cousin Julio Jones.
Pitts?
No way.
2020.
If we had the targets for him, don't need him. Wouldn't necessarily want him for what he costs. If we didn't have Laporta, then maybe. I would love to see Pitts go somewhere else and be sweet. He's the only one that's not getting used because they started throwing to London. He had a pretty good year. Only the fail cants could spend back-to-back first-round picks on receiving weapons, then have 1,800 rushing yards that following year, and then still draft a running back.
Yep. But I feel nature calling, so I got to give a shout-out to my other sponsor real quick. You know, that window tinner up in Saginaw voted number 1. 989-443-9240. That's Glossner Grand. Give him a call. He also does auto detailing. He can clean the car inside and out, put the tint on it so if you plan on traveling south sometime, you don't have to worry about your seats getting so hot you melt into them. Give him a call. Thank you for watching. There's 10 of you still here after an hour and 15 minutes on a Wednesday night. That's amazing. Kudos to the teams that are still in. I don't want to name them again because I'm sick of saying their names. And unfortunately, now that we're all on the couch with the rest of the teams we giving shit to, this is what we get to look forward to. Yoda. Much butter I sent in you. Cry like bitch you should. This has been Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. The only way to make the world a better place starts within here. Much love, everybody. Thanks to everybody in the chat, from Dad to Paul Dean.
Burgess.
What the hell are we doing with Ertz? I don't know yet. I my gut says we sign him, but he might just retire. That's where we're at. We don't know.
Cool. Glasgow?
Zach Ertz.
Oh. So I feel like I heard more than one person try to say they're like, Glasgow's going to retire. I'm like, I don't think so. He's not that old.
He's not that
So
old.
like 32? No, he's not that young still.
Him and
he's
Jake
like 30.
Drafted at the same time in the 2000.
Someone that's not on their phone. Just look. You got the computer in front of you.
31.
What if I could ask? 31?
Yeah, 31.
I told you. I'm like, I know he's at least 30. But he's playing guard. He could play guard for at least 3 more years. He could be a younger
that's right.
Lang. That was the only year that Decker made the Pro Bowl.
His rookie
when he had Lang next to him. But Lang missed a few games too.
Anyway.
Fuck! He could take Jackson's place if he leaves for too much money and go right back where he was when Decker was the best he's ever been. I'd be okay with that. We need a guard. We need a guard regardless, even if we keep Jackson.
There's a reason I said to get Darnell Mooney.
Why?
Because then we can make Chicago look like bigger idiots than they already are. Just like
we can't give him enough targets either. You know how good he would be in these. We don't need him.
You know how good it would be to have him just to piss off the Chicago Bears fans?
Oh, 100%. I I bet he would love to come here.
He would love it.
We might be getting all of the disgruntled Bear, Viking, and Packers players.
And if he wasn't so damn expensive, I would be all in on giving up 75% of our cap room to get Daniil Hunter. But I'm not ready to pay $30 million for a defensive end when you only got $40 million available after rookie.
Well, for one, how old is he? For two, he has a
27.
girl's name.
32, 33 years old.
Okay, I heard two vastly different things.
Oh, hang on.
He's not 27, but he's not 33 either. He's probably like 29, 28, 29.
29.
We're right in the middle. 29.
He'll be 30.
Thank you. I don't.
Yeah, he'll be
Will he take a
October
3-year deal?
29.
What? Okay, Keegan, you're looking. What's his projected like value or whatever?
I'm gonna look on
If you can find
$22 million.
a year.
Yeah.
No, pass. Speaking of which, I mean, I was watching the game. I don't know how many snaps he played, but James Houston's on a milk carton.
Okay. James Houston didn't get to play till last week, and he was there in the backfield getting pressure with those guys, but he didn't get home for a sack because he didn't play all season.
I was going to say how many.
Time to say good night, boys. Good night, everybody. Thank you again for watching in the chat. Tune in tomorrow morning as me and Leonard go over whatever Lions news or topics we want in the morning.
Spay and neuter your pets.
Amen.